शक्ति शिवा शक्ति शिवा शक्ति शिवा शक्ति शिवा शक्ति We are going to number 55. निमेषोन्मेषाभ्याम्
निमेषोन्मेषाभ्याम्
प्रलयमुदयं याति जगति
प्रलयमुदयं याति जगति
तवेत्याहुः सन्तो
तवेत्याहुः सन्तो
धरणिधर राजन्यतनये
धरणिधर राजन्यतनये
त्वदुन्मेषाज्जातम्
त्वदुन्मेषाज्जातम्
जगदिदमशेषं प्रलयतः
जगदिदमशेषं प्रलयतः
परेत्रातुं शङ्के
परेत्रातुं शङ्के
परिहृतनिमेषास्तव दृशः
परिहृतनिमेषास्तव दृशः
निमेषोन्मेषाभ्याम् प्रलयमुदयं याति जगति तवेत्याहुः सन्तो धरणिधर राजन्यतनये त्वदुन्मेषाज्जातम् जगदिदमशेषं प्रलयतः परेत्रातुं शङ्के परिहृत निमेषास्तव दृशः निमेषोन्मेषाभ्याम् by closing and opening of your eyes pralayamudayam yati jagati the universe will go through creation and dissolution each time you open and close your eyes. Taveti, thus you were, ahuhu santo, the sages say it, dharanidhara rajanyatanaye, O the daughter of great king of mountains, which is Himalaya. Tvadunmeshajjatam, that has sprung at the opening of your eyes, Jagadidam, this world, Ashesham, without any exclusion, Pralayatah, from annihilation, Paritratum, to prevent or to protect it, Shanke, I think, I doubt, I guess, Parihrita Nimeshaha, you do not blink. Tavadrishaha, your eye. So, what is it? Oh, daughter of the king of mountains, Himalayas. The great sages say that by you opening your eyes, at once the universe is created. The minute you close your eyes, the whole universe is annihilated. And thus, to protect, to keep this universe as being created, I guess, you are keeping your eyes without blinking it. Nimisha is the time taken to blink the eye. So, it is a fact in our literature and Sanatana Dharma that all the deities, they do not blink their eyes. They are all animishas. So their eyes are always open. So this is the outer meaning. Let us go into the words. Nimeshon meshabhyam pralaya mudayam yati jagati. This we see it in Lalita Sahasranama also. Unmesha nimishotpanna vipanna bhuvanavali. By opening, it is utpanna. Nimisha, it will be vipanna of the whole Jagat, Bhuvanavali. So, Devi here is taking the whole responsibility of Srishti Sthiti Laya under her control. So, the minute she opens the eyes, the creation happens, which is happening after Tirodhana Anugraha. Srishti Sthiti Laya Tirodhana Anugraha. After that, when she opens her eyes, the creation is happening. So then onwards, Shankaracharya is telling in such a beautiful way that you are keeping your eyes open to keep this whole universe being alive and filled with so much of actions, activities as Jagat. So what we can understand is, when we take it cosmically, Vaishvanara is the first dimension of the awakened universe, where he is, that Ishvara as Vaishvanara is in the Jagrat awakened state. So he is in touch with the physical matter world. And how is he going to maintain that awakeness? He is using his all the 7 lokas as the limbs to do the things. And to have the food, he is having 19 mouths, that Vaishvanara in cosmic grandeur way. Which are those 19 mouths? Panchatatvas, Panchendriya, Panchaprana, and then 4, Antahkarana. So, through these 19 mouths, he is keeping himself vital and he is awake. To protect that Vaishwanara, Devi has to keep on giving him the energy by she keeping her eyes open so that he is in that Jagrat state. Otherwise, he will go to the Swapna, which is Taijasa. And when it is Pralaya time, it will be Prajna. The same thing we take it for individuals as Jagrat, Swapna, and Sushupti. It is so true for us also as individual. When we have opened the eyes, the creation of this universe has come into existence. In Sushupti, when we have closed the eyes, the Jagat has totally annihilated from the individual as long as he is in sleep. So that is how she is carrying on this world in its awakened state. And here, one more thing we can understand is, here Devi is working as the kinetic energy. First, that Parashakti, Adi Parashakti, is pure energy interacting with pure consciousness. Once they come into this universe as a couple, the first couple was Sati with Shiva. There, Sati was playing a very passive role as Shiva's wife. And when she was annihilated in Daksha Yajna, she transformed herself as Dasha Vidyas and she was helping Shiva in that way. Whereas Parvati, she is like the kinetic energy with active involvement in the universe and protecting it, making it Jagat. So in this mantra, we are seeing the aspect of the Parashakti as Parvati Devi. So she is also addressed as, O the daughter of the king of Himalaya. For this, the mandala is unblinking eyes of Devi. Phala, opening of fetters, that is bandhana, release from bondage, prison, material success, wealth, and status. Just as a passing mark, I will say that unblinking eyes of Devi, they are called animishas. Even the dancers are considered as animishas, and thus even while dancing we are not allowed to blink our eyes, and that is why a dancer is considered so great. She is revered as Devata while she is dancing, and because she is Devata, she has to be animisha, and thus we are not allowed to blink our eyes without any purpose. तवापर्णे कर्णे
तवापर्णे कर्णे
जपनयन पैशुन्यचकिता
जपनयन पैशून्यचकिता
निलीयन्ते तोये
निलीयन्ते तोये
नियतमनिमेषाः शफरिकाः
नियतमनिमेषाः शफरिकाः
इयं च श्रीर्बद्धः
इयं च श्रीर्बद्धः
छदपुटकवाटं कुवलयम्
छदपुटकवाटं कुवलयम्
जहाति प्रत्यूषे
जहाति प्रत्यूषे
निशिच विघटय्य प्रविशति
निशि च विघटय्य प्रविशति
तवापर्णे कर्णे जपनयन पैशुन्यचकिता निलीयन्ते तोये नियतमनिमेषाः शबरिकाः इयं च श्रीर्बद्धच्छदपुटकवाटं कुवलयम् जहाति प्रत्यूषे निशि च विघटय्य प्रविशति. Shankaracharya is not at all satisfied. He is devoting so many mantras on the drishti of Devi because it is the most important. Her kripa kataksha is enough for one to have the successful in shade of eyes that seem to speak telltale gossip, which are like fish. Niliyante toye, hide themselves in water. Niyatam, constantly. Animeshaha, without blinking. Shafarikaha, the female fish. Iyam cha Shrirbadha, and Sri Lakshmi also. Baddhachada putakavatam, that have closed petals for doors. Kuvalayam, the blue lotus. Jahati, abandons. Pratyushe, at dawn, every day. Nishicha, and during night. Vighatayya pravishati, by force she enters into that closed petaled lotus. So what does it mean? O Aparna, O Aparna, looking at your eyes, which have the shape of a fish, Akarna Dirghayana, and that not blinking at all, so it looks perfectly like another big two fish, which are so beautiful, so radiant, and all the time it is seeing this side or this side, this side or this side. So constantly these fish like eyes of Devi are towards the ears. So the female fish which are in the lake, in the water, they are thinking, this fish, they must be telling something in Devi's ears. Must be, it is complaining about all of us. It must be telling about us in the ears of Devi. I'm really afraid what these fish are telling Devi. So let us all get into the water, and they are niliyante. They are going deep inside the water, getting frightened with looking at the eyes, which are like competitors for these fish in their beauty, in their quickness, in their brightness. So, and constantly it is swimming from this side to this side. Even in that, it looks like they are competing with us. So they are getting frightened and they are going deep inside. And then what about Lakshmi? Lakshmi is known for her beauty. Most beautiful female divine form, Sri Lakshmi. So her abode is Kuvalaya, Kamala, which blossoms in the morning for the sun rays, and at night it closes the petals. So as soon as it is opened, looking at Devi's eyes, which are filled with love and compassion, Lakshmi is running to stay in Devi's eyes. And at late evening, when it is already dark, the petals have already closed the door of the petal flower. Vighataya, she forces it to open little bit so that she can go inside and rest for the night. There is so much of hidden meaning in this mantra. It can take us deep into this mantra. So let us see what it is. Aparna. Let us take the word Aparna first. Why Shankaracharya has addressed Devi as Aparna? Aparna is the one, Parvati. Even she did such tapas to get Shiva as her husband. And during that tapas, she went through that Panchagni tapas, where she would put the fire around her, Panchagni, and she would do the tapas. So because of this tremendous heat, the body would have become dark skinned and all those things. But at the same time, because of the Tapo Shakti, her eyes had become so bright that it was very difficult to even look at her eyes directly. It would be that shining and that bright. Aparna. So the fish-like eyes which are described here is for that Aparna, whose eyes are bright and burning like fire. So naturally, the fish will get frightened, the fear. And Lakshmi also, unlike the fish with ignorance is thinking that it is fearful of Devi's eyes, with ignorance that her eyes are actually compassionate and love-filled glands. But because of that Tapo Shakti, and it keep going here and there, in ignorance, they are getting fear, competition, doubt. All these things come because of the ignorance. Whereas Lakshmi, she knew right in the dawn, she would rush towards Devi. Kataksha Kinkari Bhuta Kamala Koti Sevita. It comes in Lalita Sahasranama. It's the same. Kataksha Kinkari Bhuta. when Devi is just looking towards Lakshmi, that itself is signaling her, come. So she would come running to attend on Devi. Kamala Koti Sehvita. So crores of Lakshmis would run to Devi to attend on her, to serve her, because they're all seeing that love and compassion oozing from Devi's eyes. However, the whole day she would be with Devi, Devi, Devi. But that burning eyes of Aparna would become so strong that Lakshmi says, no more I can bear to see that brightness in your eyes, oh Devi. Better I go back. See how beautifully Shankaracharya has poetically put the same idea here. She goes back into her abode, which is lotus, which has already closed its petals. But she is forcing herself to get in. And what can we take from this? Devi's eyes are always filled with love and compassion. That is her Dharma Dhanda. That is how she is ruling the whole universe, through compassion and through love. So ignorantly, we should not see any other emotion in Devi. So we will be safe, we will be happy day and night when we are having her as the hub of the wheel. So even if we get into any of the triangles of the Sri Chakra, if we are studied in the center, which is Devi, Shiva Shakti, it doesn't matter. In whichever triangle we go, it doesn't matter. That's one thing. And if we become Aparna, that is, giving the whole being, surrendering the whole being to Shiva, will automatically make the whole world to surrender to the devotee. The devotee will get that power as Devi herself. Bhavanitvam dasemai. So these are all the things which we have to follow for her to give us or bestow us with that blessing of Sayuja with her, so that the whole world will run to do or attend on us. The whole world will listen to us, just like we are doing to Aparna. Kataksha Kinkari Bhuta Kamala Koti Sevita. So, and also the fish are the lower mind. The fish which are in the water are like our lower mind, drawing us towards all other emotions. Whereas the eyes, the fish of Devi's eyes are like the higher mind, which will draw us towards Shiva. So that also we can draw from this mantra. Now, mandala for this is Aparna Devi's eyes, which are very bright, shining, very radiant. Phala, remedy for diseases of men, such as hydrocele, victory over enemies, ability to achieve success in the most difficult tasks. दृशाद्राघीयस्य
दृशाद्राधीयस्य
दरदलितनीलोत्पलरुचा
तरदलितनीलोत्पलरुचा
दवीयां संदीनम्
दवीयां संदीनम्
स्नपय कृपया मामपि शिवे
स्नपय कृपया मामपि शिवे
अनेनायं धन्यो
अनेनायं धन्यो
भवति न च ते हानिर्यताम्
भवति न च ते हानिर्यता
वनेवाहर्म्येव
वने वाहर्म्येव
समकरनिपातो हिमकरः
समकरनिपातो हिमकरः
दृशाद्राघीयस्य दरदलितनीलोत्पलरुचा दवीयां संदीनं स्तपय कृपया मामपि शिवे अनेनायं धन्यो भवति न च ते हानिर्यता वने वाहर्म्येव समकरनिपातो हिमकरः दृशाद्राघीयस्य the glance with long and far-reaching daradalita slightly blossomed Nilotpalarucha, the beautiful blue lotus-like Daviyamsam Deenam, one who is miserable because of being far removed from you, that is, without devotion. Snapaya, bathe, Kripaya, with great compassion. Mamapi Shive, O Shive, even me. Anena, by this, I, that is me, Dhanya Bhavati, shall be blessed. Nachate Hanihi, there is no harm to you. Yata, this, Vaneva, on the forest, Harmyeva, on the palace, Samakara Nipata, fall alike, Himakaraha, the rays of moon. Drisha Draghiyasya. Again, Shankaracharya is describing the power of her glance. Devi's glance is far and wide. It reaches the whole manifestation. Drisha Draghiyasya, far reaching. And it is, her glance is from the eyes which are like slightly blossomed Nilotpala, the blue lotus. O Devi, please bathe me with that compassionate glance of yours. Bathe me too. Mamapi Shive. O Shive, please bathe me also with compassion, with your far-reaching glance on me. Who am I? I am Daviyamsa, one who has gone far away from you, Devi, without enough devotion in me. I have gone away from you. I am in a miserable position because I am not in constant touch with you. But you having that far-reaching glance, is it difficult for you to reach me, even though I have gone far away from you? Because you have such compassionate glance, which is far-reaching, wide. So please, bathe me, shower that compassionate glance on me, who is a Daviyamsa, one who has gone away, far away from Devi because of lack of devotion. Devi, it is not going to do any harm to you, because as it is covering the whole manifestation. So you looking at me will not harm you, but it will make me dhanya. So please shower that on me too. And just like you don't have to judge me versus the rest of the devotees and who are all so devoted to you. Look at the moon. He is showering the moonlight equally alike on both the forest as well as the palace. So like that Himakara, O Devi, who has the slightly blossomed blue lotus-like eyes, shower your compassionate glance on me. Here, what can we understand by this? It is a very touching, direct plead from Shankaracharya. He was in ill health because he was under the spell of black magic and sorcery. He had the knowledge of giving back or relieving himself from that spell. But it is like Siddhi. What he had is the Siddhi. He didn't want to use it on himself. He said, I would rather surrender myself to the higher power, which is Devi, and she will take it out from the root. So he's pleading with her. In the same way, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he also had cancer. He also went through, even Ramana Maharshi, they all go through whatever comes to the body, but they will not use the siddhis on themselves. Paramahamsa had taken over the karmas of his disciples, so he had to suffer. Shankaracharya, because of the black magic which was played on him by the other school scholars, he had to go through that illness in him, which was really taking away the life force from him. So that is when he surrendered totally to the higher power, which is none other than Devi. So Daviyamsa, that is also another very powerful word. We go in, I will give you our own examples. When we go to the temples like Tirupati or Guruvayurappan or Vaishnavi Devi, we will be standing in long queues for hours together. So in the beginning of the standing in the queue, we will be so devoted and we will keep on chanting all the Sahasranamas and everything. By the time we go closer to the Garbhagudi, someone talks something worldly, slowly our ear goes towards that. And the conversation between this person and the other person, and I am getting involved in it unknowingly, and the mind is totally drawn, and the line is pushed towards the Garbhagudi. By the time we come closer to the Garbhagudi, the mind is in different mindset. And with panic, we just see the God and we are pushed away. So where did the devotion go? Or when we look at the Devi also, the mind is not totally in devoting to her, in surrender. Even though we are physically there, right in front of her, right in front of us as the whole world, the nature, it is there right in front. But mentally we have become Daviyamsa, we have gone away. We are not in touch. So, unless we are recognizing, realizing, get the joy of seeing Devi in everything what we are interacting in the world, the chances of we becoming Daviyamsa is so easy. So easy. Just by blink of the eyes, within that time, the mind can become Daviyamsa. However, Shankaracharya is telling, I have become Daviyamsa, Mamapi. If Shankaracharya has to tell it directly to Devi, I am the Daviyamsa, please shower your compassion on me too. He didn't say, shower your grace on me. Did you see the difference? Shower your grace on me. Shower your grace on me too. That means you are giving your compassionate glance on so many in the whole world. Don't push me away because it is not going to harm you. It will only do good to me. O Devi, please show your compassion through your far-reaching eyes, glance, because I have gone far away. You can drag me back towards you. So please have compassion on me. So mandala for this is Devi's compassionate eyes. Phala, attainment of all-round prosperity. When we have Devi as the focal point of our life, when we have her as the hub of the wheel, even the ups and downs which we go in life would become like the game of swing. No doubt, all our lives will be filled with ups and downs. But when we make Devi as the focal point, through the perspective of Devi, through the glasses called Devi, if we handle the situations in life, it would become like a game, Leela, Moda. So the up, what we go, we understand it has to come down. Once it is down, because of the force, it will go up again. again it will come down. That up and down and up and down, we will be able to take it in Sakshi Bhava. And then once we are able to take it in Sakshi Bhava, naturally the ups and downs would be just a swing on which we are sitting on the lap of Devi and going through the life as a swing, which will go for sure up and down, which doesn't harm us, and it makes our life more purposeful, beautiful, enjoyable, and our mind will become so vast that you feel like encompassing all others also in our circle and make the whole world more lovable. So let us keep the feet of Devi strongly so that she will give us that knowledge. Aralam te paliyugalam
Aralam te paliyugalam
agarajanyatanaye
agarajanyatanaye
nakeshamadhatte
nakeshamadhatte
kusumasharakotandakoutukam
कुसुमशरकोदण्डकुतुकम्
tirashchino yatra
तिरश्चीनो यत्र
श्रवणपथमुल्लङ्घ्य विलसन्
श्रवणपथमुल्लङ्घ्य विलसन्
अपाङ्गव्यासङ्गो
अपाङ्गव्यासङ्गो
दिशति शरसन्धानधिषणाम्
दिशति शरसन्धानधिषणाम्
अरालं ते पालीयुगलम् अगराजन्यतनये न केशामाधत्ते कुसुमशरकोदण्डकुतुकम् तिरश्चीनो यत्र श्रवणपथमुल्लङ्घ्य विलसन् अपाङ्गव्यासङ्गो दिशति शरसन्धानधिषणा. Aralam, the curved, te pali yugalam, your ridges, the space between eyes and the ears, this kapala, this portion. Agarajanyatanaye, the daughter of mountain. Agha is mountain. Na keshamadhate, will it not create in everyone the feeling of kusuma sharakodanda kutukam, the beauty or the wonder of Kama, the Manmatha, with his bow. Tirashchino yatra, where it is placed horizontally. Tirashchina is looking to the side. So when the eyes are looking to the side, she is already Akarna Dirghanayana. On top of it, her eyes, the glance is looking far. Ullanghya, it is going beyond the ears. So this portion which is curved here, so it is giving the impression, won't it give the impression that it is the Manmatha's bow and arrow being already mounted. Shravana pathamullangya, beyond the ears, vilasan, casting or gleaming. Apanga vyasango, seeing with outer corner of eyes. apanga. Dishati, it creates sharasandhana dhishanam, the impression of an arrow mounted on the bow string. So, why Shankaracharya is talking so much about apanga, the side glance? Till now we have come across only in the previous Drishadraghiyasya. The glance is direct, straight, because he has gone far away. It is believed, it can be true also, it is true. When we come directly in the path of the Samadrishti, it will be too strong for a normal Jivatma like us. We won't be able to bear that power, energy of the eyes, the glance. So, Devi's Kripa Kataksha is normally through the side glance only. So, even if she is seeing straight, looking straight, many of the things which are at the sides are also falling as the side glance to her. So that amount of grace is more than enough for us to come out of any of the miseries, to grow in the spiritual path, to grow in the knowledge of that Sri Vidya. Apanga is enough. So only when we have that strength to stand as Shiva, then we can go directly face to face with Devi. So Shankaracharya is speaking so much, he's describing so much, he's putting down in words his experience of the side glance of Devi, which are filled with love and compassion. Here, one more thing we can understand, why Shankaracharya is taking the Shringara Rasa, the erotic glance at Shiva so much from Devi. That's also a question which comes. Because we have already seen so many mantras, the summary of the mantras are giving us about her amorous glance at Shiva. In fact, it is a boon to the whole universe if she is giving that erotic glance at Shiva. Because to a person who is in love, I'm talking about the individuals to give you the comparison. When a person is in love, it would be the same road, same rock, same river, or same gutter, or same tree, same coffee shop, which he would have gone there so many times and he would have got bored. But the minute he is having his beloved next to him, the whole place changes, transforms itself as heaven, and they won't even know that it is the same road, same bench, same rock, or even the negative place will also become very, very positive to them, because the love is transforming even the surrounding as a lovable thing. So even at home, if there is a person or if there is a couple who are newly married at home, naturally the vibrance in the home and the interaction with people in the home, the chemistry among all the people at home would transform into somewhat kind of joy. There will be more positive vibration at home when there are lovers in the house. Why? Because love is something which is connected with the soul. So, going through the experience of love has the capacity to create the newness, the joy into the surrounding also. So this is, and that is the reason when there is newly wedded daughter is there, the first Ganapati Habba, the festival of Ganapati, or the first Diwali is so joyful for the whole family. The first year of their wedded life, isn't it? So if this is the case for individuals, now think of Devi. If she is giving the glance of Shringara at Shiva, we have to take into consideration both of them. Who is Shiva? Shiva is the pure consciousness which has pervaded the whole manifestation. He is Sarvavyapi. Shiva is Sarvavyapi. Right today we studied Drisha Draghi, and her glance is also far reaching. It is also Sarvavyapi. So if Devi's eyes, if her glance are filled with love at Shiva, means Devi's glance is filled with that love on the whole universe. So the same glance which she is casting on Shiva, he is taking it amorously, erotically. The same glance which she is showering on the whole universe is like a boon for all the Jivatmas. So she has to be filled with the glance of Shringara at Shiva all the time. And see, for so many centuries, we keep doing every year Sita Rama Kalyana, Girija Kalyana, isn't it? Every year in so many places. How many times will they get married? And why do we do it? Because Devi and Shiva have to have that, the glance of love which pervades the whole universe. And because of that love, the whole universe will become lovable. Just like I told you, it will become lovable. Atmanastu kamaye sarva priyam bhavati. It is the Upanishadic injunction which says, when one is in love with self, everything turns out becomes lovable. So that is the characteristic of love. And Devi is nothing but the reflection of Shiva. And Shiva is nothing but the reflection of Shakti. So it is the love which is coming out of the Atma, which is spreading throughout the manifestation. And that is when we say, Sarve jana sukhino bhavantu, Sarve bhadrani pashyantu, Ma kashchid dukkha bhavet. So the whole world will be with joy, with prosperity, with wealth. Everything can happen positive, positive, lovable. Just because Devi's glance is filled with love, and she seeing Shiva everywhere because he is Sarvavyapi. So here Mandala is side glance of Devi. Phala, the royal favor, popularity, freedom from suffering, diseases, and to fascinate, and it bestows the life force for those who have lost interest to live on account of disease or status. The reason can be any, but if they have lost the liking to live, for them, this mantra works on them and it rejuvenates, it pumps in the life force in them. That is why Shankaracharya also is feeling so much rejuvenated because of her the glance which is filled with love. स्फुरद्गण्डा भोग
पुरद्गण्डा भोग
प्रतिफलितताटङ्कयुगलम्
प्रतिफलितताटङ्कयुगलम्
चतुश्चक्रं मन्ये
चतुश्चक्रं मन्ये
तव मुखमिदं मन्मथरथम्
तव मुखमिदं मन्मथरथम्
यमारुह्य दृश्यति
यमारुह्य द्रुह्यति
अवनिरथमर्केन्दुचरणम्
अवनिरथमर्केन्दुचरणम्
महावीरो मारः
महावीरो मार
प्रमथपतये सज्जितवते
प्रमथपतये सज्जितवते
स्फुरद्गण्डा भोग प्रतिफलितताटङ्कयुगलम् चतुश्चक्रं मन्ये तव मुखमिदं मन्मथरथम् यमारुह्य दृह्यत्यवनिरथमर्केन्दुचरणम् महावीरो मारः प्रमथपतये सज्जितवते स्फुरद्गण्डा भोग, the glistening cheeks, pratiphalita as a reflection, tatanka yugalam from your earrings, chatushchakram the four wheels, manye I consider it, tava mukhamidam and your face, manmatharatam Manmatha's chariot, yamaruhya and mounting on which, that is mounting on the chariot, drishyati he fights, inflicts love pangs, avaniratham earth as chariot, arkendu charanam sun and moon as wheels, mahaviro maraha the great hero Mara, that is Manmatha, Pramathapataye the lord of Pramathas, the Ganas, Sajjitavate is fully ready. So here Shankaracharya is taking it to the next level, where he is telling, O Devi, Shankaracharya is telling, "Oh Devi, your cheeks are glistening. It is so clear and pure that it is shining like the reflecting surface. So the earring which you are wearing are reflecting on your cheeks. So it looks like the four wheels of the chariot. And the chariot is your beautiful face. And Manmatha is using your face as his ratha, his chariot. So he is sitting, Manmatha is sitting in the chariot called her face, which has the two earrings and the reflection of those two as the four wheels. And he is with so much of valor, he is trying to fight with who? None other than Pramathapati, that is Shiva. Pramathapati here is Pramathas are the realized souls who have been doing nothing but eating, breathing, drinking, sleeping, enjoying every second of their life, nothing but Shivatva. They are filled with Shiva. They are living that Shivatva. They are called Pramathas. They are filled with so much of Shivatva in them that they are not even bothered about their body, their behavior, what they are. They don't even need anything from this world because they are living on the Shivatva. So they don't even need, leave alone the food and water, even the air, which is so much needed for us to breathe. But those realized souls, great sages who have gone beyond the limitations of the body and the mind, they are filled with nothing but Shivatva and that bliss. He is making them, Shiva is making them as his army. He is going with them and he's making the Avani, the whole earth, as his Ratha, and Surya Chandra as the two wheels. So these Pramathas are capable of even injecting or shoot the arrows of Shivatva at Devi and Manmatha. To that extent, they are Susajjitavate. They are fully prepared to fight against the Manmatha. Manmatha is also very strong because he is having none other than Shakti herself in front of him. He is taking the protection of Devi because he had the good experience of what Shiva is, what the pure consciousness is, what is the Tapo Shakti of Shiva is. He has already tasted it. He was burnt once. So now he's taking the back seat, making her face as the Ratha. So Shakti is in between. She's the one who is giving the glance at Shiva. So Shakti is in the middle and Manmatha is here, Shiva is here. Shakti needs both of them because to run the Jagat, he is a very good assistant, Manmatha, which we have already studied in so much of detail. Manmatha is the one, Kama. By shooting the arrows of Kama, he is able to keep the Jagat filled with so many beings, Jivatma. At the same time, she is wanting for her own self Shiva, the pure consciousness. So, both of them are dragging Shakti in two different directions. But Shakti is very, very strong, and she's saying, I will be in the middle, and you two can fight against one another. So, one is going towards the world, which is Manmatha. Another one is going towards the Para, which is Shiva. And thus, we can say that both of them need Shakti. Manmatha also needs Shakti, the energy. Shiva is Shiva because of Shakti. So she is in the middle, serving both of them. For that matter, even Rama needed Sita for him to conquer so many projects which were not possible, and he had to incarnate, Vishnu had to incarnate as Rama, and he had to bring Sita because she was the cause of so many situations where he could go and kill, destroy so many Rakshasas. So Shakti is very much needed for both Iha as well as Para. Mandala, and also we can understand Dimba Pratibimba, how beautifully Shankaracharya is giving us. It is reflecting on the cheeks, Pratibimba. So, what do? We normally hold on to the Pratibimba as the reality, and we stop at that. But this Bimba, which is the earring, is giving reflection, Pratibimba. That Pratibimba is giving another reflection in the mind of the Jivatma to think that there are four wheels of the Ratha. Now, do you see how the multiplicity is happening in the world? Bimba is reflecting itself as something, and that something is again reflecting as something else. So the multiple reflections is making this whole world as filled with so many different sizes, shapes, tastes, colors, beings. So what should we do if this is the case? Knowing that there's no point in hanging on to the Pratibimba, but fighting out or making way through the Pratibimbas, we had to reach out to the Bimba so that we can be one with Devi and see the whole world as one reflection of my own self. So this is a very good mantra to contemplate, which has so many plus points in it. Mandala, erotic face of Devi. Phala, power to fascinate the person you love. Overcome great adversaries. Diffusing the mightiest enemy. The mightiest enemy. So we have to recognize what can be the mightiest enemy. And if we have this support of Devi, what we think today this is the mightiest enemy. Once it is conquered, again we can see something else more higher in its difficulties that also we can conquer. Difficulty, diffusing the mightiest enemy and the afflictions created by them. So I would say avidya is the ignorance. Avidya is the mightiest enemy. So even to fight that, this mantra would be really helpful. So let us start with this. Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti Om. 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 Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti Om.